What's going on, guys? Welcome back to United View. Hope everyone is doing very well. We're back again. I told you we'd be back again. Back for another video today. It's non-stop at the moment. It's just par for the course at Manchester United. News after news after news. Captaincy, tick. New goalkeeper, tick. Tour, tick. It's all going off in the words of our ominous leader, Fleck. Yes, Manchester United have officially announced the signing of Andre Onana. What's his name? Andre Onana. I know you've been tired of the jokes. I know you've been tired of the constant updates. Nearly there. Oh, it's close. It's imminent. New goalkeeper. Is he coming? Isn't he coming? How much? Negotiations. I would press the what button, but I'm too early in the video. I went into it too quickly. If I click what 10 million times, I'll probably get a copyright. And I can't get copyright on the announcement video for Andre Onana. But yes, Andre Onana has indeed signed for Manchester United. It's been officially announced by the club via a statement on social media and on their website as well. Of course, we know this anyway. Andre Onana is already, I think he's already touched down in the United States at this point, joining up with his teammates ahead of possibly a debut on Saturday against Arsenal at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. But let's read out the official statement from Manchester United. They have confirmed that Andre Onana has joined Manchester United on a contract running until June 2028, that being a 5-year deal with the option of a further year, so 5+1, subject to international clearance. The Cameroonian goalkeeper has kept 104 clean sheets in 255 club appearances. Not a bad ratio. It's the kind of ratio that I want for the likes on this video as well. He won 3 league titles and 2 KNVB Cups with Ajax before joining Inter Milan in 2022. Last season, he won the Coppa Italia and recorded the most clean sheets in the Champions League. We do have some comments from Manchester United's newest number one. Onana has said, quote, "To join Manchester United is an incredible honour, and I have worked hard all my life to get to this moment, overcoming many obstacles along the way. Walking out at Old Trafford to defend our goal and contribute to the team will be another amazing experience. This is the start of a new journey for me, with new teammates and new ambitions to fight for. Manchester United has a long history of incredible goalkeepers, and I will now give everything to create my own legacy in the coming years. I am excited by the opportunity to work again with Erik ten Hag, and I can't wait to play my part in the success I know he is determined to deliver at this great football club." Manchester United's football director John Murtough has also commented on the transfer, saying, "Andre was our top choice to become the new goalkeeper for Manchester United, with exactly the right profile of technical attributes and personality. Having achieved success throughout his career, we know that Andre will further add to the winning mentality we are building within our squad. He is already one of the world's best goalkeepers, and at the age of 27, we firmly believe he can develop even further over the coming years." Yes, Andre Onana is officially a Manchester United player. So quickly already, he's already changed his Instagram bio. You know, it's like back in the day, they said, is it Facebook official? Is it Insta bio official? Yes, it is for Andre Onana right now. Yes, it says on his Instagram bio, Manchester United and Foundation Andre Onana. Of course, he's retired actually from international football after that World Cup incident last year involving the coach. But yes, if you are just joining us, he is officially a new goalkeeper. There's pictures of him in the new kit as well. How is everybody feeling? Are they happy? Are they glad that this one's now done? Again, I know that it was very, very tedious at points. It was deal close.
What?
It's imminent.
What?
It was first bid.
What?
Second bid.
What?
Third bid.
What?
Announcement tomorrow.
What?
Here we go soon.
What?
Here we go.
What?
It was very, very constant, wasn't it? Nevertheless, I nearly broke my soundboard, by the way. I clicked that so many times. There are big red error things just come up because I clicked that so many times. The point being is, we're finally there. We're finally over the line, and now we can focus on new targets. And that's kind of what it always is when it comes to transfers being announced, isn't it? Is that, yes, you focus on the person coming in, and you focus on their attributes and what they can offer to the squad and what they're going to offer to the team. But I think the mentality at Manchester United certainly is, okay, that's done, on to the next one. And the next one certainly is Rasmus Højlund, and that first official proposal, reportedly according to Fabrizio Romano, is coming in soon. But just to dwell a little bit on Andre Onana, I mean, I know we have spoken ad nauseum about Manchester United's new goalkeeper here on the channel, and I know myself, I've probably spoken about Andre Onana for hours, about his qualities and his technical ability and what he brings and what he, you know, how he replaces David De Gea. Make no mistake, the Manchester United goalkeeping position, they're big gloves to fill. right? There's not just from David De Gea's perspective, but in terms of the lineage of giants in that position that you're following throughout the years, whether it is Peter Schmeichel, whether it is Edwin van der Sar, whether it is even David De Gea, whether you like him or not, he's the record clean sheet holder of Manchester United throughout his tenure there. He was at the club for 12 years. And if Andre Onana stays at Manchester United for 12 years, then that's a pretty good going signing. Who knows? I mean, he's 27. He'd be 39 by the time that happens. The point being, though, is that it's a pressure position. Speaking as a goalkeeper myself, I'm qualified to talk on this one. Playing in goal, you need a different personality, certainly. And particularly playing at Manchester United in goal, there have been decent goalkeepers that have attempted to play in that position. And the pressure, the enormity, the stress that's on the Manchester United goalkeeping role has swallowed up some half-decent keepers. Even you look at people like, let's say, a Ben Foster, right? Not Manchester United level, but he tried to play in there, couldn't handle it. You've got people that throughout their careers have tried it. Even someone like a Fabian Barthez. Fabian Barthez won a World Cup. Eccentric and maybe coming to the tail end of his career, but it didn't work out for him. The point being is that it's tough. You know, we saw Dean Henderson when he had almost his little period there in goal for Manchester United, even without the fans in attendance in the stadium. That pressure was enough to make mistakes and change his game. So Onana, I'm confident that he's going to succeed at United. The reason why I'm confident he's going to succeed is because he's got a personality. He's got confidence. He's got ego in the right way. He's got arrogance in the way that you need to be for a goalkeeper. And of course, he's a modern goalkeeper. Of course, he's got the technical abilities that we haven't had between the sticks for over a decade. We know David De Gea's limitations. We know his strengths, and certainly we've seen, and there's a specific reason why we've gone for Andre Onana, and that's because of his technical abilities. That's because of his distribution being one of the best in the world. I mean, I've had friends of mine, and I've spoke to people on social media that even opposition fans go, tell you what, Andre Onana, not a bad goalkeeper. not bad. That's a good signing by Manchester United. And I think in terms of, and I always want to be respectful to David De Gea, but I think in terms of what Erik ten Hag wants and what Erik ten Hag expects from his goalkeeper, it's an upgrade in that sense. Now, it might not be an upgrade in terms of shot stopping or in terms of all that kind of stuff. You know, you can have your opinions on David De Gea and his legacy, whether he's a legend and all that kind of stuff. But in terms of the technical aspects of distribution, playing out from the back, being composed on the ball, being press resistant, it's an upgrade in that role, certainly. And I think now there's honestly going to be a bit less leeway, I think, from Erik ten Hag in terms of how he wants us to play out from the back and how he wants us to build up from the back. Last season, as I've said a million times here, I think Erik ten Hag compromised. I think Erik ten Hag looked at the players that were available to him and said, I can't play totally how I wanted this team to play. I can't play how we were currently, or how I was previously rather, playing at Ajax with these current players because of, again, the limitations of my goalkeeper, because of the limitations of some of my defenders, because of the limitation of some of my midfielders, all that kind of stuff. So I've got to compromise. I've got to switch things up, and I can't play total football in the total essence of how I want to play, particularly playing out from the back. And when sometimes United tried to do it, mistakes happened and it cost us. And it's also important to point out mistakes will continue to happen throughout this process. Andre Onana, there are clips out there of him making mistakes. He will make mistakes at Man United. There will be moments where he's playing out from the back and he tries one Cruyff turn and he sours the player and we go, brilliant. And then he does another one and the player then nicks the ball off him and puts it in the back of the net. There will be incidents where he passes the ball to a defender and the defender screws it up, or you go, tell you what, Andre Onana put that player under pressure there, he shouldn't have done that, and it leads to a goal. That is going to happen, but I think the mindset is, or certainly the philosophy will be, is that the positives will outweigh the negatives. For every mistake that you will get 3 or 4, or maybe 4 or 5 goals built up playing out from the back because you've got a goalkeeper that's willing to take the risk. It's risk versus reward. Now, it doesn't mean that you should take the risk every single time, but it does mean that they're going to play on the knife edge quite a lot. And there are going to be those moments that even us as fans, and I put myself into this, that I was doing it even during the friendly yesterday when Kovar was doing it. And Andre Onana will do it to even higher degree, where you're going, oh, I'm not sure about that pass, or you're doing the full-on Gary Neville. We're doing all that, and that we've got to get used to that. We've got to remain calm. We've got to be like, this is what this goalkeeper does. And it's not to say that he's not a proficient goalkeeper when it comes to shot stopping as well. I would really recommend to you guys that didn't watch it, because obviously I can have my opinion on Andre Onana, but I have not seen him play as many times as an Ajax fan has. Now, Flex, myself, and it was a little cameo from KG because he was having internet issues at the time, did a full view with Ajax on Monday. And most questions I think that you would have about Andre Onana, we spoke about extensively, and we asked Ajax, and obviously he was very complimentary about the distribution and the ability that Onana has to play out from the back, but he was also really complimentary actually about his shot stopping ability and his reflexes. He said he thinks he's one of the best shot stoppers that he's ever seen, and one of the more complete goalkeepers that he's ever seen as well. So this is truly a transformative signing, and in terms of how we're going to play, how we're going to build out from the back, and how us as fans, I think, are going to watch United play next season. It's going to transform a lot of it. And it's going to be a process, and it's going to take time, but that's why I'm glad it's done now. Andre Onana's in the United States. He's meeting up with his teammates. He's going to play a significant part in this preseason tour, and that's needed. We've spoken about Rasmus Højlund recently, and that is he or isn't he going to be involved in the preseason tour of the USA? And most likely not. If he's in time, he might play those last two friendlies that are in at Old Trafford in Manchester and in Dublin. He might be involved in them, but in the grand scheme of things, it's just about getting him in. Andre Onana, as a goalkeeper, a specific skill set goalkeeper like him, it is vital he has as much time as possible with these players. Not just game time, of course, because game time you can't beat it, but also just training every single day, constant. This is how I play. This is what I do when I play out from the back. I expect you to be here, here, here. Oh, okay, that right back or that left back makes the run like this. Or Erik ten Hag can point out now to some of these players. I know previously the goalkeeper wouldn't have put the ball here, but now if you get in the space, he'll give you the ball or make the space and he will find you. Or in certain instances, if you're facing goal and previously you thought, oh, I don't know about giving the ball back to the goalkeeper, give it back to the goalkeeper. He'll be able to deal with it. He's got the capability to deal with it in that pressure situation that those players won't be used to. So there's going to be an adjustment period. Absolutely, there's going to be a big adjustment period, but it's going to be for the better. And we are starting to see this development of an Erik ten Hag side. You look at the difference between the Manchester United that Erik ten Hag inherited to the Manchester United now. It's nowhere near complete. And there are always going to be issues, particularly with the boardroom situation being what it is, particularly with the takeover situation being an absolute charade, as Mike Keegan described it yesterday. But this team is becoming Erik ten Hag's team. No doubt about it. You've got Erik ten Hag's goalkeeper. You've got Erik ten Hag's centre-back. You've got a rejuvenated midfield in Casemiro and Eriksen and Mason Mount and possibly another midfielder to come in. You've got an Erik ten Hag person on the right-hand side in Anthony that he specifically requested from Ajax. You've got a striker possibly coming in as well, a young striker who Ten Hag wants as his number one striking target that wasn't called Harry Kane or Victor Osimhen. This is developing into an Erik ten Hag side, and this is a vital piece in this is the goalkeeping situation, and it's been a lightning rod for discussion, and I do think it will continue to be a debatable point throughout the season, particularly in these early phases and in these early stages, because there'll be that first mistake whenever it happens, and you'll get, the people going, oh, we can't do this. It's a mistake. You're going to have to adjust to the Premier League to get used to that, Andre Onana. Oh, that's not how we work round here. We're going to have to get used to it. As much as he's going to have to adjust to the Premier League, we're going to have to adjust to him as well. And it's going to take time. And frankly, if it doesn't, then maybe he's even better than we previously imagined. There's a possibility he could come in and he could just go straight in and be unbelievable. I'd love it. But these things sometimes take time to adapt, particularly in the goalkeeping position. But the guy's got, again, this just personality. You've seen it in all of these interviews. I don't care. I only care about what the manager tells me to do. I only care about what my coaches tell me to do. I'm not afraid of anyone. I'm not worried about making mistakes. I'm not worried about pressure on the ball. I'm not worried about what the crowd say about me. I just do me. I just do what Andre Onana does. And again, I think that it's a real top quality signing by Manchester United, and a real transformative one at that. And that is, we spoke about priorities a lot heading into this summer transfer window. For me, the number one was still a striker. But next to that, goalkeeper was absolutely vital in that. It took me a while to get there. I was, banging on the De Gea. Maybe he should stay. He's not the top priority. I use the analogy of the house is burning down and you're trying to change the doorbell or anything like that. And I was wrong. I was absolutely wrong. The time was right when it came to that. And particularly with David De Gea's contract coming up. And Ten Hag is being ruthless, and he's not willing to compromise anymore. He is now molding this team firmly in his own image, and I'm really excited to see how it plays off for him this season. Let's get some super chats here. Cabastic says, Onana, more like Ona, yes. I tell you what.
Fucking reckless! That's fucking reckless! Fucker!
I probably, actually, to be fair, I clicked the wrong button with that. I could have said, more Onana, more like Ona.
Yeah!
That's much better. Much better. And it didn't have the profanity. I apologise, Cabastic. Marcus with the super chat says, Maguire should go with some class. He is self-deluded on his ability. Having Johnny Evans back, the only player to win the Premier League, is invaluable. I did just see something as I was going live, actually, regarding Johnny Evans. And essentially, which is what's been reported quite a lot the last few days, is that Johnny Evans, don't rule out Johnny Evans signing a longer term deal than the one he's currently on, i.e. to the end of the season or something like that. They're seriously considering it, basically, was what the report was. I just want to see if I can find it here. There's a lot of Andre Onana stuff, so I'm probably going to miss it. But I did see someone just say that, Johnny Evans, that they're considering it, essentially. They're open, certainly, to him being a Manchester United player into the season. So keep your eye on that. Keep your eye on that one, certainly, because Johnny Evans, he might actually be staying a bit longer than people think. Particularly, I think, if Harry Maguire does indeed go and FFP is so stretched for United over the summer transfer window. Kevin Boateng is the latest member of the UV Members Club. Welcome to Kevin. I think I saw a comment from Kevin saying that throughout this whole process, we've been all over it, so here's a new member. So I appreciate you, Kevin. If you wish to join Kevin, easy for me to say, in the UV Membership Club, you can do so. Links in the video description. It's also the pinned comment in the live chat. Or you can just click the join button. Click the join button, you get your badges, your emojis, your exclusive members only content as well. Fill up the chat with emojis at the moment. There's a million of them. Caramore with the super chat says, playing from the back and created chances is all good, but it doesn't help if we don't have players who are consistently taking chances. I only hope that experts don't start blaming Varane or Bruno if we're not scoring goals. Well, I tell you what, Caramore, I totally agree with you in that instance, because this is what I've been saying, that for me, that it's the number one priority. Get the striker in. We were on a par with basically every other top team in the league when it came to the majority of the other metrics last season. Our goals conceded were essentially the same as, or better than the likes of Arsenal, Newcastle, Liverpool, etc. Obviously, we won the Golden Gloves, which was, partially on David De Gea, but also it was a collective defensive effort. So defensively, we're good. And if anything, Andre Onana should make us defensively even more resolute, even more defensively better. What we really need to work on, what we really need to improve on, is scoring goals. And to be honest, that's not just... So I made a really good point about this during the match view yesterday in the Asylum. That was, yes, obviously, if we get a striker in, if we get a number 9 in, you would hope that we would score more goals, because you bring someone in, that's their primary function. Score 15, 20 goals, you up that goal tally. But also, that doesn't stop the criticism, or doesn't stop the attention, rather, going on those wide players that aren't called Marcus Rashford, because he scored over 30 goals last season in all comps. But you like your Antonys, like your Jadon Sanchos, like your Amads, if he's there as well. Those players that are getting in into those positions to score goals, like we saw against Lyon, they've got to be more ruthless. They have to take them. Now, the hope is if you have a centre forward there, naturally one of those chances or two of those chances would go to the centre forward. They're better at taking their chances, so they'd score goals. But the top teams are ruthless in every position, whether it's out wide on the left, out wide on the right, the striker, the 10, even a midfielder. And just as a collective, Manchester United need to be far more ruthless in front of goal, far more clinical in front of goal moving forward this season. And you're right, the build-up play hopefully will be better. Obviously, the build-up play and chance creation you would think would be better, but the chance creation was pretty good last season. And we saw it in that friendly against Lyon in the first 10 minutes. We could have been 4 or 5 up, but we weren't clinical enough. And you would hope, yes, that does improve of a striker, but it also should go to those other players as well, going, you need to be more clinical. I'm sure Bruno Fernandes looked at the assist that he got last season and went, I should have way more than this if these people that I'm giving these chances to could finish. So that is certainly something that not just this new striker would help out with, but I think also those other players that aren't Marcus Rashford need to be improved on. Absolutely. I just also saw Manchester United have tweeted, again, this is what happens when you're live, that Andre Onana will be wearing the number 24 shirt. Yes, Andre Onana 24.
Here we go!
That is official. So the number 1 shirt is still up for taking, whoever it's going to be. The question is, if we did sign Suzuki, he couldn't be number 1, could he? Do you think they save that? Do you think they just rest it for a while? I mean, Onana's always had that number 24 shirt. So who do we think takes that? Is it normal? Is it normal for a backup goalkeeper, a young backup goalkeeper, to be number 1? I mean, Onana, from his point of view, I love being number 24. That's my number, so I'm going to be 24. No problem with that. I just mean, what do you then do with the number 1? Being a bit more of a traditionalist, I say. I'm not sure what they would do with that. Statman Cam's in the chat. He's probably, absolutely. I can't even think of a good word. I was trying to say incredulous, but I'm not sure that's the right word, because that implies anger. He's probably just beside himself with joy and bliss. He's probably like, this is what I've always dreamed about. He's probably like Heisenberg on that episode of Breaking Bad when he's on the phone, when he goes, we won. Or I won. Take 2. I won. Now, for people that are just tuning in, saying,
what is going on here?
Andre Onana is the brand new Manchester United player. He will wear number 24 in between the sticks this season as well. Big up Cam. More tactical views coming soon, by the way. It's going to be... The comments are going to be interesting on the Andre Onana one. Knowing the journey that he took to get to that point, that's going to be very interesting. Just a little line as well, talking about the goalkeeping situation and backup goalkeepers and stuff like that. I did just see, and I want just to double check this actually, because I did see something popping up on my notification suggesting that, here we go, it comes from... where is this journalist from? It doesn't even say. Oh, it's a Japanese-based journalist. Again, that would make a ton of sense. Saying Uro Reds. I knew I was going to struggle with it. I struggled with it the other day. Uro Reds goalkeeper Zion Suzuki is very close to joining Manchester United. So this might be a situation where we announce that we have signed Andre Onana, and maybe another announcement is very much on the horizon very soon, that Zion Suzuki is going to be the next goalkeeper signed by Manchester United this summer, which would say a lot, obviously, about the current goalkeepers under contract at the club. Dean Henderson and Tom Heaton have both been selected to be on the travelling squad for the tour. They're in the United States at the moment. The expectation is that Dean Henderson will go back to Nottingham Forest, this time on a permanent transfer. The fee that's gone around has been 20 to 30 million. I'm hoping for about 30. We know that Mati Kovar is going to be going out on loan because he wasn't named in the squad. Tom Heaton has been linked with a move to Luton that was reportedly blocked by Erik ten Hag until the goalkeeping situation was sorted. But it looks like we're very close to getting that whole position sorted. Not only Andre Onana confirmed now to be a Manchester United player, announced in the United States, joining up with his teammates, but Zion Suzuki could also be the next person through the door for Manchester United, and that position could be completely secured and completely locked down. And then you move on to, as I mentioned, what next? And the thing what next is, which made no grammatical sense, what I just said, is Rasmus Højlund as well. What else are we saying here in the chat at the moment? Got Air, one of our members, says Onana is going to be better than Ederson. It's a tough level to reach, and I hope so. I really, really do. Again, I watched Andre Onana play in the Champions League final, and to be honest, I was blown away. I really, really was, just watching it, and I was kind of, because I knew City were going to win, I was kind of like half watching it, because I was going, oh, they're going to score, or they're going to... So I was like, oh, I don't know. But I was blown away from what I saw of him playing in that game, and then going back to watch it. I thought his distribution was absolutely brilliant, and he also made saves in that as well. And I think that is something to what Ajax was touching on, that when you do look at the stats, if that's your thing, if you like the stats over the eye test, or you like a hybrid of both, as the thing said, he had the most clean sheets in the Champions League last season. David De Gea had the most clean sheets in the Premier League last season, so maybe we don't look into that metric, but I think he had the best save percentage as well. He had a good save percentage, a better save percentage than David De Gea too. And an argument could be made that he has better reflexes, and he has better, more traditional goalkeeping attributes than Ederson. It's been argued with Ederson that he really is an outfield player playing in goal. He was an outfield player playing with gloves on, because City, just because they don't really get peppered with shots or anything like that, maybe he's not the best in that. Although, in fairness to Ederson, to give him a little bit of credit, he made big saves at the end of that Champions League final. You can't overlook that. He did, because if Romelu Lukaku could actually score when it mattered, maybe that would have been a different match. And Ederson did make some key saves towards the end of that one. But I'm just glad that we've now got a goalkeeper that's certainly in the conversation of attributes similar to an Ederson, similar to an Alisson. You can at least say, well, they're comparable. I'm not going to sit here and be like, he's better than Ederson, he's better than Alisson. Time will tell. We'll see what happens with Andre Onana, his career at United in the Premier League. But certainly we've got a goalkeeper that you go, I tell you what, he's got similar attributes. And here's hoping he can absolutely, again, be a roaring success at Manchester United. And I hope so. And I think it does show ambition from Erik ten Hag, from John Murtough, from Matt Hargreaves, again, who's part of the negotiating team for doing this one. And again, final figures have been reported several times, but it's in sort of the £40 million range, a little bit higher than that. Inter wanted 51, and United have got themselves a good deal. I saw, I think it was Sky Sports putting up a graphic kind of suggesting that that he was one of, I think Romano had said it or something like that. That was it. The most expensive goalkeepers of all time. This was it. The most expensive goalkeepers of all time. And you've got Kepa Arrizabalaga as the most expensive goalkeeper of all time at £71.6 million. Alisson was the second highest at £67 million. And Andre Onana was third at £47.2 million. But in reality, I look in the modern market, yes, for a goalkeeper, goalkeepers traditionally don't go for huge amounts of money. But in the modern market, and they say 47.2, that's including add-ons, by the way. Absolutely including add-ons. It's around, the initial fee is around what, like 41, 42? Just over 40 million for a top-class goalkeeper in this day and age, in this market, with United tax. Bear in mind as well, he was a goalkeeper that had, 4 years left on his contract, had just played in the Champions League final. Again, I think that's really good business by United. And you look at some of the goalkeepers beneath him when they're talking about expensive goalkeepers, like Courtois, 35 million. That was in 2018. That was like 5 years ago. Ederson to Man City, that was in 2017. That's 6 years ago. Before underneath that's Buffon, it's in 2001. So again, in the current market, and the ones above them are in 2018 too. So we're talking about, situations 5 years ago. They're talking about, oh yeah, he's third most expensive goalkeeper. Again, it's good value for money in an inflated market, and with Manchester United tax that had a player again that bought out a contract that had 4 years left on it and just played in the Champions League final. I'll take that all day again. And I've noticed they talk a lot, don't they, about all of the price when it comes to Manchester United. And as we always say, people talk about the price and people get really frustrated and hung up on the price, in particular when transfers don't work out. If transfers work out, nobody gives a shit. You look at Alisson there, he's the second most expensive goalkeeper of all time, £67 million. Do they ever talk about that? Never. Do you ever look at Alisson and they go, second most expensive goalkeeper ever? No, because it worked out. You'll even look at another Liverpool comparison. Virgil van Dijk. The amount of money they spent on him, was it £75 million? Does it ever really get brought up? It did initially, but if it works out, nobody cares at all. Even to an extent, Jack Grealish, £100 million, is he worth £100 million? No. Say he won the treble last year. So I don't think they won't give a shit or anything about that. You said the transfer fee only really matters when the player isn't being successful. Look at Harry Maguire. Right, so I think United, again, have actually done good business here, and I do think that whilst people can say you shouldn't praise Murtough and you shouldn't praise Richard Arnold, the last two deals, I think, in terms of the negotiations, and Matt Hargreaves, I think they've done fairly well as well. What else have we got here in the chats here? All Elite. says, forget the price. This guy behind Leacher, Varane and Cass, boner alert. Wow. Something in the chat today is a little bit, maybe it's just a lot of,
Believe.
It's just a lot of believing. I think that's where it is. But you should, if that is happening, see a doctor, see a physician or something like that, or elite. I would recommend it. What else have we got here as well? Araya says price tag doesn't mean nothing when clubs are trying to fleece you. Plus Harry Maguire killed the price tag thing. Dwayne Rogers says our wingers need to make goals more than score them, and at the moment they don't. Cutting in and shooting, missing, along with awful crossing if they even try. Michael says what are his wages? I don't know. I mean, I'm sure you probably find that on social media. I'm sure Romano or Damasio or someone like that has probably posted that a million times. Again, there's been so much information regarding Andre Onana and so many conversations that we've had. I'm kind of honestly a bit glad to not be discussing his transfer anymore, considering how often we've spoken about it here. And I know you are. I mean, I felt your pain a couple of times. There was a couple of times I saw people saying, oh, just say when it's done, say when it's done. And I was with you there. But now it is done. And now we're going to do the same thing with Rasmus Højlund all over again. Absolutely. Suleiman says, believe. Joe Blackman says, Owen, we all are overexcited regarding what? The boner thing? Yeah. That's going to be clipped, isn't it? Absolutely. I just thought about that. That's going to be a sound clip. You're excited, what, over the boner thing? Oh, God. It's just... How many likes are we on at the moment? It's been a long day. How many streams is this? This is stream number 3 today. But this is Man United in pre-season, by the way. This is what you get. You get captaincy announcements. You get new transfers. You get tour. You get morning shows. You know us. I said we're all over it. Absolutely. We've got over 1,000 people watching, so there's no reason. There's no reason why we can't be at 500 likes. Some people would say,
You can do it!
I believe in you. Where is it? Here.
Believe.
I've got way too many sounds in front of me here. I have to get them in some kind of alphabetical order. But you can do it. If you haven't already, click that like button. Be sure to subscribe as well. Bottom right hand corner. I can also say that more content is coming today. If you thought this was it, you're mistaken, because indeed there's going to be more content on the way today. If you want to see a reaction from Flex and KG over in the United States discussing Bruno Fernandes being named the captain, also as well Andre Onana signing for Manchester United. That is indeed coming later on today, so you don't have to go anywhere. Wow, it's not going to be coming immediately after this, but subscribe. Make sure the notification bells are on. That's the important thing. Notification bells at the moment are very, very important, because every time we go live, which can be at a drop of a hat, or anytime a new video gets uploaded, which can be at a drop of a hat, especially with the time difference over in the States, you'll be notified, and you can be the first to watch it, first to jump in, discuss the breaking news and things of that nature. Also, if you're out in the United States, I did plug it earlier on the Bruno stream that I did, but let me just make sure I've got it here. There we go. If you are in the United States, if you are in the state of New York or possibly New Jersey or surrounding areas, and you wish to meet up with Flex and KG and Josh, they are going to be in New York later on this evening. There is an event called A Night with Manchester United legend Wes Brown. It's hosted by Andy Mitton. The first of several meetups over the next couple of days as well. Stay tuned to our social media channels at United View TV. You'll know exactly where the guys are going to be, when, where, and how to meet up, how to chat. We've been getting so many messages, so many DMs, so many emails, all that kind of stuff, talking about how can we meet up, how can we chat, all this kind of stuff. Go to our social media. That's the best place to stay up with it, or you can get some information on here as well. As I mentioned, there's this night with Manchester United legend Wes Brown this evening. That's being hosted at Smithfield Hall on 138 West 25th Street in New York. So again, all of the details for that are on social media. If you go to our Instagram page, which is at United View TV, you can see on the stories there. If you go to our Twitter page as well, at United View TV, you can find out there as well. Or follow Flex at FlexUTD or at KG That Comedian. All of the details are there. You can find out where to find them and have a chat. Again, I can't exaggerate enough how many messages we've been getting asking, how do we meet up, or how do we chat, or where are you guys going to be, or what are you doing for this game, where are you for that game. So that is the best way. So if you want to get the latest information, the best way is that as well. What else have we got? All Elite with the super chat says, you kill me reading that. Big love, Owen. Glory, glory, United view. Yes, yes, All Elite. Always getting me. Michael says, can we have UV merch? On the way. On the way. I have, it's in process. It's in the works, which I know is so annoying when you're watching like streams and you're going, it's in the works. So when people go, I've got lots of projects on at the moment that I can't really talk about. Well, don't talk about it then. But I can say it is in the works and it will be coming soon, because that's another thing. We've got loads of messages about people saying, how do we get merch? Yes, it's on the way. I think that's everything. Yeah, Chris says it's imminent. Merch is imminent, which means several months away. I like that. Good use of the word. What else we got here? Omar says, Nana by Trey Songz, better jingle for Onana. Wow, this is the thing, Omar. Obviously, I know exactly what you're talking about. That song. It's a good one. It's a classic. It's a real toe tapper for me. And I know somewhere Flex has probably got, head in his hands going like this. Or KG's going, come on. He's probably going, oh, for fuck's sake, man. But I'm absolutely 100% aware of that song, and I know exactly what it is, the artist, the beat as well. I know it exactly, so you don't have to, and I'm definitely telling the truth in that instance. 100%. I know exactly what it is. Anyway, guys, look, I'm out of here again. Who knows if I'll be back again this evening, because the way the day's going, you never know. But do stay tuned. As I mentioned, there's more Flex and KG content coming from the US. And also, we'll be back tomorrow morning, myself and Marcel, with another transfer view at 9 a.m. Stay tuned. I'm out of here. Peace.